Alright guys, welcome back to Urge. We are coming to you with the next rogue archetype, which is the Assassin.
Yes.
Stabby stab. Again, just a quick reminder here for you guys. The way the review and everything works is we explain how the subclass improves on the base class.
Yes.
Obviously, the better a player is at RP, they're going to be better at RPing, but some classes and things have better RP abilities.
Yes.
Some subclasses have better combat abilities,
Yep.
and that's what we're looking at, how much the subclass improves on the base class.
And our rating doesn't say how good or bad things are specifically. It's more about, like I said, how much we build on what's already there to either further specialize the class in certain areas or further diversify the class.
Yeah, so like for example, if a certain class had 5s and everything, and then a different class had 5s and everything, that doesn't mean they're both like the same.
Right.
It just means in this class, this is probably a really good subclass.
Yes.
Anyways, we'll jump straight into it. Just a quick, we like to remind everybody every few videos how the system works and everything. So at level 3, Assassin, you gain bonus proficiencies. Okay, you gain proficiency with the Disguise kit and Poisoner's kit. So definitely pure RP here. You get the Disguise stuff, cool. You get the Poison stuff, cool.
Cool.
The only thing with this is the poisoning crafting is not very clearly stated in the DM guides or in any of the books. But so it's a lot of the crafting of poison is up to DM discretion. So depending on how good the Poisoner kit is in particular is definitely up to your DM's discretion. So that's one thing to keep in mind there.
Right, for sure. First big ability you get, and why pretty much everybody takes AssassinRogue if you're interested in it, is Assassinate. It's maybe the best level 3 ability for a subclass, at least from what pops into my head immediately. Because third level, like I said, early on you're getting this ability. If you have you had advantage on attack rolls against any creature that has not taken a turn yet in combat. So whether it's you get a surprise round in front of them, even if their initiative is higher than yours, which is going to be unlikely as a rogue in general, or if you just rolled higher than in the initiative pool and you go first, or if you're third in the initiative pool overall and you're attacking somebody who just hasn't gone yet, so it doesn't have to be you to be at the top of the round. It can be as long as you're going before what you're hitting. You get advantage, so therefore you automatically get your sneak attack, even if somebody is not. You don't have an ally within range, or other things that could be giving you advantage. You get your sneak attack.
It just surprised.
Yes.
Is automatic crit.
Yes.
Okay, at level 9, we're going again with RP stuff. Infiltration expertise. Okay, you basically can create a false identity.
Yes.
So how it works is you can spend 7 days and 25 gold to establish history, profession, affiliations for an identity. You could become like a noble, but you couldn't become the king himself, okay? Because he is in existence. You can't be someone who already exists. You can create a new person, new identity that people will believe. Other creatures believe you to be the person you claim to be until given an obvious reason not to.
Right, so no picking different races.
Yeah,
we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, we discussed it earlier. I was like, if I'm like an elf, I can't be like, I'm a dragonborn. And they're going to be like, even if you have a disguise on, they'll be like,
it's like,
I don't know about that.
Put him in the drunk tank, guys.
Now, to be fair, that could be up to DM discretion, but for my sake as DM, I would say that's pushing a little bit far. You could say, like, I was stranded on an island and raised by Dragonborn, and they raised me as a Dragonborn.
But
it's like, they're like, okay, I believe that, but being a Dragonborn, a little far-fetched.
For sure.
And then a little bit of an increase on this, you have Imposter. Now, this is a slight change on take on it. At level 13, you gain the ability to unerringly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior. You must spend at least 3 hours studying these 3 components of the person's behavior, listening to speech, examining handwriting, and observing mannerisms. Your ruse is indiscernible to the casual observer. If a wary creature suspects something is amiss, you have advantage on deception checks you make to avoid detection. So this is basically, you kind of can become someone else, as long as it's, like I said, if it's like a huge major figure, like, I'm the king, depending on the circumstance and the DM's discretion, maybe it's allowable, but for the most part, it's going to let you, like...
Well, I think the handwriting would be more believable to be the king
for sure.
Than, like talking like or trying to, like, physically be the king. Yeah. But if you wanted to forge a letter to somebody else from the king, it would be a whole lot easier to get away with.
Exactly.
Than trying to, like, talk to the guards.
Yeah, and the thing, too, with that is you say, well, then you just need to know writing. It's like, no, because you need to know how he speaks to be able to write in the same way that he would write.
Right.
not only his handwriting, but the way he writes.
Right.
So there are other reasons besides that, even if you're just forging something.
The big boy stick at the end of this list is Death Strike, and yes, it is as fun as it sounds. Level 17, when you attack and hit a creature that is surprised, once again, we're getting that surprise thing, so you have to find ways to make that happen as well. Every rogue begs their DM, is he surprised?
Hide.
Is he surprised? Anyway, makes a Constitution saving throw against your DC of 8 plus Dex plus your proficiency modifier. On a failed save, double the damage of your attack against a creature.
You did.
Double. So let's draw that back real quick and rewind this video about a couple minutes here and get back to Assassinate level 3. So if you get the surprise, it's going to automatically crit.
Ooh.
So you double your dice. Okay? So even you're starting out at level, of course it's level 2, that's not going to matter. When level 17 gets here, you're looking at 9d6 damage. On a surprise, that's going to crit automatically.
Yep.
And become 18d6 damage on your
shit.
first attack. Which you then roll, and then you get to then double that damage that you roll.
Assuming they failed the Constitution.
Assuming they fail the Constitution saving throw, which it does let you add your Dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus. So at level 17, that's going to be... Well, you even get 6 there, so that's going to be 14... It's going to be a 19 DC.
It's going to be pretty high.
It'll be 19.
You're capped.
Yeah, assuming your Dex is capped, which if you're
You
a
should-
level 17 rogue, you better have your Dex capped long before then.
Yeah, you probably will. By 17, you should.
Right. So you're having it's going to be a 19 DC save, which is going to be a hard save for something that doesn't have a decent...
Basically, a
Dexterity
non-dragon is going to probably eat it.
Or a very Dex
Or a
heavy
lucky roll,
or a Dex heavy DC
Yeah.
NPC. You think it's not quick or agile or just something gargantuan like that. That's good.
Yeah.
It just saves on everything. But still, and we did the math. Average damage on a non-crazy magical weapon, just a basic, weapon. You're looking at 130-ish damage.
Yeah, give or take.
Just from the sneak attack roll.
Yeah, that's assuming you roll all 3s and 4s.
Right.
So that's pretty standard. I mean, you could obviously spike higher or lower, and that's not including the actual weapon and stuff. Like you usually get, if you have a dagger, a D4 on top of that.
Right.
So you're looking 120 to 140-ish damage on average.
Yeah, for just an average regular weapon, no crazy...
You're gonna kill most things.
Anything under like CR 10 is pretty much dead.
And if it's not, your second attack is probably gonna finish it off.
It's like he's not looking good. It's like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, a little.
Bye.
Okay, so with that, we're going to the rating side of everything. First up is the combat.
Yes, which we, through much deliberation, went with a 4.5. And you may be thinking, it's like, okay, those two abilities that are really combat based, Assassinate and Death Strike, are busted. Yes, they are.
They are very strong.
But it is only for your first attack.
Yeah.
In an encounter. It's not like once per round kind of thing. Like sneak attack's a once per round bonus.
Yeah.
Where you're as a rogue, you're very bursty damage on your sneak attack. With Assassinate and Death Strike, it is your first attack per combat. So you come out with a big hitter, you're probably going to knock out the first thing. Just get off my screen, delete button kind of thing. Like think like you're playing Super Smash Bros. Sudden death mode, and you're in there. There
next hit, you dead.
Okay, somebody else is good. Next turn. Who's next?
But essentially, with it being only like a off the bat kind of thing, we did 4.5. If it wasn't turn 1, it would be super broken.
It would be
if
super
it wasn't only, but it is still very, very strong because that's usually where rogues shine the most. Anyways, usually the first turn of combat, just because you get that sneak attack is just huge. It's like that is their damage output is sneak attack.
Yeah. And the other thing you got to remember is with rogues on that sneak attack and that opening round, if you happen to miss both attacks for whatever reason, your Assassinate's gone.
Yeah,
it's
that
gone.
does suck.
Like, and your big boy damage of Assassinate Death Strike is just gone.
Yeah.
If you don't make, of course, granted, it's unlikely you're going to miss twice in the first round.
With advantage.
With advantage.
At level, well, I mean, depending on what level you are.
Yeah.
Especially Death Strike, though.
Especially when Death Strike hits.
17,
it's unlikely, but technically it is possible. So your damage then tapers off hard, and that your big opener is just gone.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't give it a 5,
You can still hit your sneak attacks later on, but the thing is, the ability to immediately eliminate one target from combat is huge tempo swing. Because in 5th edition, the biggest thing is action economy.
Yes.
And cutting out one whole character is a huge tempo change.
Yeah, if you're fighting 4 on 6 and then just one just gets rid of. That's a huge change.
Yep.
Huge change.
And then next we have the RP side, which there's 3 big abilities that are RP based.
Yep.
Obviously, the Disguise Kit and Poison Kit proficiency isn't quite as big, but you have to remember too, with expertise, you get to choose your skills and proficiencies and everything. But with how everything works, if you take like Sleight of Hand, for example, as one of your expertises, depending on your DM discretion, again, always DM discretion, Disguise Kit, and Poison Kit stuff could be related to that. So that's another huge thing, because then you're getting double expertise on those things if the DM uses those ability checks to relate to those tools or whatever, So depending on how that works out, that can be a huge bonus. And also depending on, again, your DM, how poison works. It's a huge RP thing, because you're crafting poison and you're like figuring out how you're going to use it to kill or someone, That's a big thing. And then infiltration, becoming a person, like you legit like create an identity and you become a person. That's a huge RP value right there. And then the ability to be an imposter, just to forge or do stuff in a indiscernible to the casual observer, it says. And advantage on deception checks. Yeah. That's a big thing too when you're trying to lie in regards to whatever you're impersonating.
Yeah. If you're trying to be a noble to go in there and assassinate somebody in the guard who's being corrupt because they won't believe you, you have advantage on anybody who might think that you're being shady.
Yeah.
Yes, even if they catch you and think they may, that's kind of suspicious, kind of weird. You still have advantage on trying to deceive them at that point. As a rogue, deception is one of your skills you have an option to take, and then take expertise in if you so choose.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so depending on how you want to build it. Now, of course, score-wise, we never even said
that. Oh, yes. 4.5.
Another 4.5. And I think the only thing that really prevents it from being a 5 is that the RP abilities are very, very urban-based.
For the most part.
For the most part.
And also, it's not like something you're not going to be, every quest you're doing, you're not going to be impersonating someone.
Right,
It's not something that you can constantly do.
Right. It's really, really cool.
Useful,
it's really, really good.
It's going to completely change how the DM and the campaign goes when you impersonate someone.
Right.
So when it is used, it's super effective.
It's super good. Right. It's really the only thing holding it back.
Yeah.
And overall, synergy is the last thing. What does this overall just kind of build to, add to the class? We thought, why break from the norm and go another 4.5? Because both on the combat side of things, getting Assassinate just builds on top of sneak attack. Death Strike builds on top of sneak attack. Make sure your opener of sneak attack every round, that first round, be just absolutely silly. The fact that you have a chance to have just a delete button on the first thing you fight on an individual encounter is just fantastic. And on the RP side of things, like you said, 2 different things. Or it's really 3 with the bonus proficiencies.
Yeah.
Being able to go in there and become a different person, and really, you can technically impersonate a very important person as far as handwriting goes.
Yep.
Speaking to somebody who wouldn't know who they were on a quick basis, kind of thing.
Yep.
It really, really fits the theme of the rogue.
For sure.
Extremely, extremely well.
And it does also synergize again depending on how you do it with expertise, and even Thieves' Cant could work in there some with organizing how you're going to impersonate, people and stuff like that. But with that, guys, those are our scores for the AssassinRogue.
Very, very, very good subclass.
Very strong. It's pretty well rounded as well.
Yeah.
It's like everything is pretty solid.
On the short list, probably like on the A tier, on the top tier subclasses, I think, for what we've seen so far.
One of the most rounded, I would say, subclasses. Mm-hmm. And with that, guys, if you have anything you'd like to see us do in the future for subclasses or anything D&D related, we have our new podcast out, which is Roll4j. Make sure you check that out.
The third chair is full.
Yes,
we bring back Poor Man's Momoa for that one.
And also, guys, if you have any experience playing with or playing as a rogue assassin, we'd love to hear about it in the comments down below.
He deals with one currently. It's a fun time.
Try to kill him every single combat because it's fun. Before he kills all of my things. Especially getting him magic weapons and magic items. Yes. Yeah, anyways. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.